Do you want your channel points to be able to do this? Or this?
Konnichiwa!
Or something like this? Same thing. Every step you take, I'll be watching you. Or maybe this. Well then, this is the video for you. Hello, my lovelies. My name is Lucky K, and in this video I'm going to show you how to turn your channel points into something god tier so that it's actually something that people want to interact with and encourages people to subscribe so they can get the channel point multiplier so that they're actually worth something besides just giving you a reminder to hydrate and sit up straight. And for all of us Twixers who are watching, this is going to be basically how to turn your channel points into a Mixplay board now on Twitch. But obviously you can watch this video and utilize these tips for yourself if you're a native Twitch streamer too, and it's gonna basically be coming from the mindset of people who used to have a Mixplay board on Mixer, so woo for fun cultural things we're bringing to Twitch as Mixer streamers. Yay! But if you guys are part of the 90% of people who are not subscribed watching this video, go ahead and just take a second, click that button. Might as well hit the like while you're down there. It helps me a lot in the long run and lets you know when new videos are coming out, because I try and have things come out on a regular basis for you so that you can learn to be the best streamer and content creator that you can be. But without getting too far into that, let's actually talk about how you can turn your channel points into a Mixplay board of god tier goodness. The first thing you're going to want to do is obviously go over to the top. You're going to want to click on your creator dashboard and go there. Now, once you're in your creator dashboard, you're going to go to your community tab and go to channel points. This is where you need to make sure that you have these enabled and are able to utilize them for this tutorial today. Obviously, you're going to want to go in here and you can upload whatever it is that you want your channel points to be called, doesn't matter, and then of course the display image for that too. For me and for my community, it's love, and then it's my emote of little, you know, pongos being all cute together as a little heart. But what the next thing you're going to do after you do that's going to be the basic first step. You want to then go to managing your rewards and challenges, and obviously this is going to be where the main magic comes in addition to you needing to utilize Mix It Up, because that is the bot you need in order to have this done. Is you need to be able to put your Mix It Up here so you can have everything working, and you're going to need Mix It Up to be able to make the magic actually happen on stream. I'll have the links to Mix It Up and the ability to download it in my description, so if you guys don't already have it, you can go down and configure it for your channel. If you already have it because you switched over from Mixer, like many of us did, then you're fine and you can already utilize this. The first thing that I'm going to tell you guys that you want to do is put your socials as a thing for people to click on your Mixplay, on your channel points. Channel points! I need to start using Twitch nomenclature on your channel point board. So, for example, you can see here that I have Twitter, YouTube, Trovo, Instagram, Discord, and my Patreon all as one channel point options people can click on, so that when they do that in my chat, for example, let me go over here, then it actually pops up with the link in my chat. Obviously, they could just go into the description and click it themselves, but nobody wants to go into the description. Not very many people do. Not very many people go into your bio. Your bio is still important, but it's a lot. Even having them here, it's always good to have them in more places than one, but it's not enough. When people are watching your stream, oftentimes they don't want to click out of the stream. They don't want to miss out on the experience. So the best way to do that, to keep them still engaged on your channel without them having to scroll and miss whatever's happening on the screen, is by having it here instead as an alternative way for them to find you. Now, let me move myself over here to the other side because I'm just all over the place. So you can see over here in the bottom right that now if I were to click on Twitter, it'll say get a link to my Twitter. I redeem it, boom, it pops up in chat as follow on my Twitter, and it has my Twitter link there for people to be able to get. Make sure every single one of you guys has your socials, do it, and make it one channel point so it's very easy for everybody to be able to get and find and utilize. That said, to be able to do that, how you make one of these to begin with is, and here where it says custom rewards, you're going to scroll down and you're going to do add new custom rewards. So this is where you would type in, for example, your Instagram. If you were going to be doing that, you would say link to my Instagram. Just very simple, to the point. You don't want to require the viewer to enter text for that. You're just going to want to do the cost amount, which will be 1, and then you would drag an image in if you wanted it to, and then boom, you would hit create and it would have this and it would be ready to go. And that's how you create all of these and get as creative as you want to. Now, Once you've done that, how you actually link it to your Mix It Up is a different story. So, let's say that you've got Mix It Up downloaded now because you've gone to the link in the description, downloaded it, or you already were using it, whatever. Now what you're going to do is you are going to click on the hamburger menu here in the top left. You're going to scroll down and you're going to click on Channel Points. Once you are in here, this will be blank, and this is where you need to have your buttons that you added here now be the exact same that you add over here. And let me explain what that means. So we made a Twitter one, for example, and we are going to add a command that is an advanced command, and we are going to call it Twitter. And, you know, we'll do an exclamation mark to make a command for it, and I'll have one here as a test as well. Actually, we'll just call this one test. And what you're going to do is you want test to be, you know, your Twitter link, right? So you're gonna say Twitter, and then you have your HTTPS or whatever, and then you're going to do your twitter.com/LekaK or whatever your one would be. You're then going to hit save, and there we go. So now down here at the bottom, you see that there's one that says tests. And if we were to go here, this is where we would make a new custom reward here in our own area for the channel points. So we would need to call it the exact same thing. Test, link to Twitter, for example. This would be one of the socials, so it would be a 1 point option. You would hit create, and then boom, test is now there. So if we were to go over here to LekaK and we were to open up, you see now that there is a channel point called test. And if we were to click on it, it says link to Twitter. If I were to hit redeem, boom, now you can see that it worked because we had connected it in our Mix It Up to be that exact same chat message that popped up here in chat and made it active. If you don't have your channel point command made in Mix It Up, it's not going to activate and work on the back end on its own here over on Twitch. And you can get a lot more creative with that, just like I did on mine. For example, now you've done these, you're like, oh, okay, well, what is it that, let me delete this test now that I've done it on here, but you're like, well, what can I do to be more creative and interesting with it? Well, that's where all of these other things that I've done come in. So for example, there are ones that I've done where people can boot my snoot. I still have the highlight message. I kept that as the default one. Everything else I've added it on my own. Oof lasagna, dance breaks, fabulous, clips from different performances I've done as a drag king, and skits that I created back on Mixer as a partner. There's a Titanic recorder theme for people that really want to make everybody cringe and cry. There's a bunch of different stuff, and if everybody doesn't know what they want to do and they don't really care, I also have a 20 sub giveaway. That's worth 100,000 points that people can use as well, which if you do not have a group aggregated goal, you need to create one, which going back to the channel points, you can do that up here by adding a new community challenge. And this is important and nice because then you can encourage people to put their channel points towards that if they want to see something come to fruition, like a 20 free sub giveaway that you're going to do courtesy of yourself to give back, or if you want them to help you hit a goal, because then if you hit it, you'll be able to do a 24-hour charity live stream or do a scary game stream or whatever. So if you want something big that people can work together towards, this is where you would do it, and this is something that I would encourage all of you guys to do for something that's unique and specific to your channel, so your community has something else to rally around. That said, you want to give them options as well outside of that, so if it's not meta or if it's not something that they're interested in, there's still other ways that people can interact with your channel, and the more creative you have it, the more entertaining you make it, the more people are going to want to save up those channel points, and the more people are going to want to sub to get the multipliers for the channel points to actually make it worth their while to be able to do these things. But what other things can you do with them, LekaK? Well, let me show you real quick. So, for example, you can do things and Mix It Up for having your GIFs pop up on stream. You can have sounds pop up on stream. You can have links to videos pop up on stream. I'm going to show you how I did my boop button, which is just a little boop on the snoot and a sound, and the sky is the limit with your creativity. These are just some ideas to get you guys started so you can make your Mixplay board super fun, super phenomenal, and give people a reason to want to use the channel points, be a loyal viewer, and sub to you. Alright, so the first thing here is that boop button, which, if clicked upon, then does that. So if you want somebody to be able to, for example, I can do this as many times as I want to. Let me make this a little smaller, and I can go over here so you guys can see what happens at the same time. So my camera is here in the middle of the screen, and if somebody hits the boop button, it has a little pushing pop up, and the sound effect of boop, which I recorded myself. That's me saying boop. And people can do that as many times as they want to. So if you want people to be able to do that, or to be able to do something like my hello command, which is very similar, where it's a sound and a GIF played at the same time. Pushin coming in and saying hello, going into lurk mode, which is again the same thing. Every step you take, I'll be watching you. Things like that. Then you can go ahead and do so, and you can make it as creative as you want to. I even have a scare one, which again is the same thing, of just a GIF and a sound going together. I hate that, and I know I was doing it, but I still hate it. So if you want to do something like that, then how I did so was in my channel points, I went and I hit edit, and it's literally just two things that you need to add in. What you need to do is you need to go here, and you would, of course, have created your command. You're going to add a chat command if you wanted it to be like boop in chat, but you don't have to. For me, for this one, what I did just to make that simple boop was I did overlay images and video. I added that in, and then I titled it what it was, which was the Pushin, you know, boop, so we'll just call that one boop. You are going to have it be an image because GIFs count as images. You would then browse for the source of your GIF that you've saved to your computer, so whatever GIF it was that you've downloaded that you want to have. For me, for the Pushin boop, I had it downloaded, and I also made it so that it was a square, so that the proportions would not get moved around either way, because if you don't make it a square or the proportions that it's normally meant to be, then it's gonna mess up everything, and it's gonna look squished or funky, and it's not gonna look quite right. So make sure that you're keeping the proportions the same that what it needs to be. Play around with the duration. I have mine, as you can see on the screen, for 0.8 seconds, because then when somebody plays it, it just goes really fast with the sound, and is able to happen pretty quickly. But play around with it for whatever it is that you need to do. I positioned mine, so over here where the positioning is, that means that's going to be where it is on your screen. Because obviously you don't want to just show up in the middle. The whole point of booping somebody is to boop their snoot. So, your snoot. So I moved mine in this particular one. I have it where it's 81 from the left and 60 from the top. The layer position I didn't even mess around with. If you wanted to get really specific with the pixel proportions of it to have it in an exact location, you can. I think it's a little extra, so I just do the position and it's fine. Entrance command and exit command, if you wanted it to fade in or fade out, if you wanted it to zoom in or zoom out, slide in, whatever, you can. For me, for the booping, I didn't do that, but for others, the transitions are important. Same with the entrance and exit animation, so you do that as you need to. Visible animation, if you wanted it to come in, wiggle, wobble, for example, if I did Jello, it makes it wobble up and down like that, like you saw, which is fine. But you can, again, mess around with those. For this one, there's no need for it to have any of that. It just needs to come in and boop the snoot and be done. And then the next thing I added in was sound, which is literally scrolling down here, you add in sound, and then you're good to go. So I added in the sound. If I wanted to, I could do that here, and then of course, same thing, browse your file path, make it happen. For mine, I already had it here. You can make it as loud or as quiet as you want. I have it defaulted to 100. You can set it to your audio device. I set it to default because in your Mix It Up, I have my default as my headphones that I'm using right now anyway, so it doesn't matter. And then when you play the command together, you can test it out by clicking test command here at the bottom before you hit save. You can figure out things and see how it's going to look on your overlay, because then you're good to go. Also, if you guys are not able to see anything popping up on your screen, it's because you probably don't have your overlay enabled. So just really quickly, if you've never used Mix It Up before, in order to get Mix It Up to even show up on your OBS, you need to go to your overlay, which you are going to do by clicking the cogwheel here in the top right, and then you are going to go down here on the left-hand side to overlays, and you're gonna copy and paste this as a browser source into your OBS. So you would click on that, copy paste the URL, and then take it over here to your sources. As you can see, I have one that's literally for Mix It Up that I came in here when I did add. I added a browser, add the existing one, Mix It Up, because then when you go over here to properties, you literally just type in that URL for the host, hit OK, and now you'll be able to see everything pop up. I just wanted to add that in as an aside if you guys were wondering, why can't I use it? If you had never used it before, you need to have that done, or else you have your boops but nobody sees them because you don't have the overlay on for your source in OBS. If you guys wanted to get really fancy, you could do something like this, which... Indeed you are. Indeed you are, you fabulous son of a bitch. But you can get as crazy fancy as you want. As you could tell, that one had a lot going on. So in order to do something like that, instead of it being simple where it's just an overlay and a sound, if you wanted to have all those different animations pop up, you wanted to have all those different GIFs, all those different things, you can get as fancy as you want to and get as creative as you want to, like I did with that one. And let me just show you the back end of that. That fabulous button looks like this for all of the different things that I have there. I have a cooldown for all the other buttons so that I don't have a ton of other things going on over top of everything. I have the chat message of somebody saying that they're fabulous. I have sound and confetti and wait times and everything else. So you can get as complicated with this stuff as you want to for playing around with Mix It Up. If you guys want a tutorial on the more advanced and difficult things you can do with Mix It Up, let me know, because that will take an entire video in and of itself to show you guys how to do the extremely complicated Mix It Up buttons. But this one at least gives you an idea and goal and direction on how to do your basic socials for getting that in there, how to do some fun, simple little commands of having things pop up on your stream with sounds and some GIFs and stuff so that you guys can have fun with that with your community and at least get you started in the right direction. And like I said, if you want a tutorial on the complicated ways that you can interact with your community using the channel points for your Mixplay, then let me know and I can make that happen. But for now, that was essentially the long and the short of what you can do to improve your Mixplay board so that now you can have things that are God tier, unique, interesting, engaging, and exciting for things that your community actually wants to spend points on for your channel, besides reminding you to hydrate and sit up straight. So there you go. Remember to like this video if it was helpful for you guys and to subscribe. Again, let me know if there are other tutorials that you want to see in the transition or that you want me to give my opinion on, because I can make those. I have a lot of video ideas coming, but I wanted to make sure I got this out because I've been getting tons of questions about it ever since I released it a day or so ago on my channel, and I wanted to get the news out to you guys that Mixplay is not dead, and for any native Twitch streamers, that Mixplay is beautiful and we can do something very creative with our channel points from people who came from the Mixer side and have that perspective. So channel points are not as utilized as they could be, and they should be. That said, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you for hanging out with me, and without taking up any more of y'all's time, I will go ahead and let you beautiful people go. Goodbye, my lovelies.
3, 2, 1, jump!